Joe Rogan has accused Conor McGregor of using performance-enhancing drugs, but the Irishman has fired back at the commentator-turned-podcaster with his own brutal sledge. On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, the UFC commentator said McGregor's bulked-up physique may be the result of taking some, not-so-natural substances. McGregor has been out of the U.S. anti-doping agency for several months now and hasn't been testing all year. In the meantime, he's been consistent in showing off his jacked physique. He's taking his shirt off and posing constantly, and he looks like his pish would melt that USADA cup, Rogan said. It would just burn a hole right through the bottom of that USADA cup. Rogan added, "The weird thing is that there is a loophole in USADA that allows you to get out of the testing pool. You can get out of the testing pool and just juice up." McGregor wasn't going to take it lying down, though. In his usual feisty fashion, the Irish fighter took a jab at Rogan's own physique. He also pointed out Rogan never fought in the MMA octagon. "Joe looks like his pish melts his knickers," McGregor said in a since-deleted tweet. "In the company that long and never took a fight, ha ha ha, at UFC o Taekwondo competition. Call the cops, ha 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 ha." Accompanying the tweet was a side-by-side image of Rogan at 25 years old and 52 years old, with both pictures showing off his muscular body. Yeah, there was no way McGregor wasn't going to return fire, especially considering the 34-year-old has previously used PEDs. According to MMA Junkie, McGregor gained permission from the bigwigs at the UFC to do so after suffering a broken tibia sustained during his trilogy bout with Dustin Poirier in 2021. He was granted permission to do so, which had raised eyebrows from the likes of Rogan. But with the PED usage came some conditions. In order to be able to enter the octagon once more, the Irishman will have to spend at least 6 months in the USADA program before competing in the UFC. That means his earliest possible return to the ring may be July 2023 or thereabouts. Basically, we aren't seeing him in an MMA fight for a while. Rogan also accused Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson of taking steroids following the recent Liver King scandal. While Dwayne hasn't responded to Joe's accusations, The Rock actually has confessed to using steroids before, when he was a teenager. In an interview with MTV back in 2009, the wrestler-turned-actor revealed, "I tried it. Me and my buddies tried it back in the day when I was 18 or 19. Didn't know what we were doing." Dana White is dismissing talk of Michael Chandler fighting Conor McGregor in his UFC return. It is true that UFC president Dana White made comments that the two fighters meeting up in the octagon would be a fun fight. Also true is the fact that media outlets ran with the story, which became Conor McGregor will fight Michael Chandler in his much-anticipated return to the octagon. White, speaking at UFC 282 post-fight press conference, had this to say about a potential matchup between Chandler and McGregor. "I never said that, ever effing once. This is what happens when you do interviews and people listen to your interviews." Continuing, Dana White clarified his comments. They said, "So, if Conor McGregor came back right now, who would you be looking at as an opponent?" I said, "Well, if he did, if that happened, and that scenario played out right now, Chandler would be a fun fight. Never effing once did I say Conor McGregor versus Chandler. I don't even know when Conor McGregor's coming back. And this is why I don't like to answer these kinds of questions. Because some effing idiot somewhere on the internet puts out that that's what I said, and it's not even remotely close to what I said." So White just shut down the story as fiction. McGregor, 34, last entered the octagon in July of 2021 at UFC 264, where he was defeated by Dustin Poirier. Following the bout, The Irishman required surgery to repair his broken leg and has since been recovering, rehabilitating and training. It is rumored that McGregor is set to re-enter the cage in 2023, assuming he complies with 6 months of USADA drug testing. Chandler, 36, also recently lost to Dustin Poirier this past November at UFC 281. Iron has the not-so-impressive status of having 3 losses in his last 4 fights in the octagon. So with Dana White putting the rumor of a McGregor vs. Chandler fight to bed, who would you like to see Notorious battle it out with for his return to the octagon?